talk a little bit about the myth of TVOD and SVOD in the current world that we live in? Because I've been yelling from the top of the mountain that TVOD is dead. Unless you can drive, for independent films, unless you can drive traffic in one way, shape, or form. So the example that you gave, he goes on ESPN, that's driving traffic. That's exactly driving traffic. But if you're an independent filmmaker and you just put up a film with no actors, no star power, not even a niche, let's say it's just a genre horror film, and you throw it up on iTunes hoping for it to be discovered, you're dead in the water. So I'd love to hear your opinion on it.
Okay. I can speak with authority on this topic because I have over 1,000 films on Amazon.
Okay.
Out of the 1,000, 3 are making anything on TVOD. 1 is doing high 5 figures.
Which we discussed.
The next one is making low 5 figures. And the next one is making high 3 figures.
High 3 figures.
Yes, that's the hundreds.
Hundreds of dollars. And then everybody else is making pennies.
Yeah, $5, $3, $2 a month.
A month on TVOD.
It's nothing. Yeah, it's just insignificant. Okay, and that movie Fat Fiction, it did 30 the first month, then just dropped off to 10, and then dropped off to, in
transactional.
Yeah, in transactional. So what we do is we give everybody 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. We put you out there on 2 weeks. If you don't have any traction, we turn on Prime.
Right.
Then you start making money.
Yeah, and even then, though, now
minutes.
You used to start making money. Now
you start getting minutes watched. How much you're going to make depends on how well you engage with your audience.
Now, if you're over that 50% mark, are you in the 6 to 7 cent world at that point?
No, they've scaled that back even. I think you're going to get. You have to get up in order to make 11 cents. You got to be over 95, and you got to be over 98 to get 12 cents.
Jesus Christ!
It's very, very.
So you're fighting for basically crumbs. You're fighting for crumbs.
You're 4 cents at 50%. Maybe by the time you hit 55 or 60, you're up to 5 or 6 cents. But it's a slow rise to the top.
But so essentially, Amazon doesn't want your business. Essentially, not you personally. I'm talking about just as a general statement.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. They're weeding out, what they consider to be
undesirables.
Yeah, it's sub-studio level content. I mean, they want to be regarded as having quality, studio level quality.
Well, to be honest, I've had Amazon Prime forever, and I've always considered Amazon Prime kind of like the dumpster of films. Like I would find occasionally you find gems, but you got to cut through a lot of crap that's up on there. Where Netflix is not like that, Hulu is not like that, HBO is definitely not like that. These other platforms definitely are more curated, and Tubi was like that originally as well. They let everybody in because they needed content, they needed numbers, but now they're starting to pull back too, which we'll get to AVOD in a second. But all right, so TVOD, so we can now officially say, everyone listening, TVOD is dead unless you can drive the traffic to it. Right. And sustain it.
iTunes, we're seeing nothing.
Nobody's using iTunes anymore. Like nobody. Like unless it's a studio. If it's a studio,
studio films do fine.
Yeah, studio, and people still run studios, films and studio and TV shows, and
especially young families with young children. Young couples with young children, so they'll use Apple TV. They'll buy for their kids, and the kids can watch them over and over and over again.
Yeah, for $10.
Disney films,
Yeah, $10 or something like that, and you're rocking and rolling for a while. And yeah, I mean, I've done that with my kids.
Kids will watch the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. I never want to see Frozen again, or hear that song. It's still, I still wake up in cold sweats. So everyone listening, TVOD is officially dead. So please don't think that, I've had people on the show before who have made millions on TVOD, but we're talking about 2012 with one of the examples, and another one was like 2015. And they both had massive either stars or audience that they could leverage. So TVOD is dead. So now let's go over to S.
Same with Google Play.
Well, all TVOD. That's included on all the platforms. Yeah. And also
three major ones.
So, okay. And also that's another thing, another myth that I want to kind of break here today. The three major platforms, if you're going to put up something on the platforms, which are the platforms you need to focus on? Amazon, iTunes, Google?
Those are the three TVOD.
Right. But there's also Fandango, PlayStation, Xbox, and all these other kind of smaller ones.
Indies on Fandango were doing nothing either.
Right. So
okay, we have maybe 50 films on Fandango, and the reason that we even went to Fandango is they were the first one that allowed us to put 4K films up.
Okay.
And we've had 4K films up there for close to 3 years.
Not much.
But indie films don't get any play there at all.
And a lot of filmmakers will go to an aggregator and they'll go, well, I want to be on all the platforms. So they'll spend they'll pay $5,000 to be put up on Fandango, PlayStation, Xbox for the pure ego boost to say we are everywhere. We're on Vudu, we're on Roku, we're on all of these platforms. And a lot of times, most times, you're not going to see a dime of that. You're not going to get an ROI on that investment. No. Generally speaking. ROI. No.
We still do it just because people
expect it.
They just think it's so important, and it's so hard to convince them.
That's why I hope this episode gets seen by everybody and watch and listen to everybody, because there's just realities that are currently happening now that filmmakers are still stuck to the old way of doing things. So before it was you have to go out to TVOD for 3 to 6 months. Then you would turn on SVOD, and God forbid 3 years later you go to AVOD if it was even a thing. So let's go to SVOD next. So SVOD essentially is Amazon Prime at this point, because there is Netflix and Hulu, but those are like the cream of the crop get accepted to those situations. Is that fair to say?
Well, yes and no. There are others. Like, for example, we're BET. BET is a great subscription channel for urban films, for Black cinema.
Sure.
Okay, and we have quite a few Black cinema films in our catalog. Mm-hmm. We probably have the prime Black cinema catalog, because people that want Black cinema approach us. We don't have to go asking, to get on their platforms. So we've supplied a lot of content to urban flicks. We're in the process of working with BET. And those are subscription channels. They buy the way foreign buyers buy. They pay flat licensing fees. However, what's good about subscription channels is that they will let you still be on TVOD. They don't require a holdback from TVOD. And then usually they will have a set holdback for other subscription and AVOD channels. So, for example, they might say, okay, you can't go on any other AVOD or SVOD for 3 months, for example,
or 6 months or something like that. Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah. So those deals are, and there's quite a few subscription channels out there. But they're specific. They're genre specific in some way, or niche specific. So those are worthwhile, and we look at those first because they do want that holdback, right? Or if you're already out on some AVOD, then they're going to slash the price down really low. They'll still want it, but they're not going to pay. So it's worthwhile for us to look at those, and we can get an answer pretty quick on those. So it's not a big holdup.